Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at 3 brand new combat patrols. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. New combat patrols for Tyrnaids, Black Templars, and Space Wolves. The World of Combat Patrol is the perfect way to start a new foray into Warhammer 40,000, with compact and balanced forces battling it out in small-scale skirmishes. It's a fun game mode in its own right, and doubles up as a great foundation for a new army project. And more combat patrols are added all the time. Speaking of which, 3 new ones are on their way. Alright, so I gotta agree with everything Games Workshop said here. Combat Patrol is a great launching point for like big 40k, or just an awesome game mode in its own right. Typically, a Combat Patrol is going to be about 500 points, which is a quarter of your 2,000 point army, and it's typically going to have like all the stuff you need to get rolling. It's also really cool because you can get all the rules for free, so you basically just pick up one box, build it, and then you can start playing Warhammer. Alright, so here's the first of our new Combat Patrols, the Space Wolves, and this one looks awesome. Space Wolves kick things off with a spread of their own brand new kits. 5 Wolfguard Terminators, 10 Bloodclaws, and a Wolfguard Battle Leader, joined by 5 Wolfen to dial up their savagery up to 11. A mix of speed, durability, and numbers makes it a perfect one for a new Space Wolves army. The mix of speed, durability, and numbers makes it the perfect core for a new Space Wolves army, and one of the most potent close combat forces in the arena of Combat Patrol. So I gotta agree, this is a really nice box set. The Wolfen are nice and fast, the Bloodclaws are a nice little core force, your Wolfguard Battle Leaders got a little bit of punch, and then 5 Terminators for super durability and extra killy power. And with the new Space Wolves launch box that recently came out, this is a great expansion force for it, as it's going to add some of the stuff you already don't have, and then some more stuff that you already do. And then on top of all that, these are all brand new kits except for the Wolfen. So you're getting a bunch of brand new sculpts, a bunch of really nice models, and an excellent force. Very, very cool. Alright, and then next we got the Black Templars. If you need any proof that the Black Templars are taking their claim to melee supremacy seriously, look closer. They've only gone and brought the Emperor's Champion along in a new combat patrol. The 10-man Crusader squad puts out respectable firepower and can hold their own in close combat, while the meat of the team comes in the form of 3 Blade Guard veterans and 5 Sword Brethren, very stabby indeed. Alright, so again, really nice box set right here. This is an excellent combat patrol. You're going to get a 10-man Crusade squad, which is basically a mix of like actual regular dudes and then scouts. They got some shooting, they're pretty good in combat. And then you got the Emperor's Champion leading the charge. He is an excellent like character-on-character fighter. And then you got 3 Blade Guard veteran who are super durable with their invulnerable saves and pretty punchy in combat. And then, of course, you've got your Sword Brethren, who are absolute menace on the tabletop. If you get them in close combat, they can wipe out just about anything. So very nice box set, very thematic. Definitely a big fan of this one as well. And again, while these models aren't brand new, they're all like relatively new sculpts. Nothing dated here. Nothing feels like it's just getting unloaded on you. This is a great start to a Black Templars force. And then moving on from there, we've got the Tyranids. They'll need someone to fight. Of course, who's better than the Tyranids? The Tyrannid Assault Brood mixes a swift squad of 10 Gene Stealers with 3 heavily armored Tyrant Guard and Biovore, giving you solid punch at short and long range, before capping it all off with a terrifying Parasite of Mortrex, a unique bioform that swoops from the skies and injects larval eggs into its prey. So again, really nice box set right here. Obviously, the previous box set for the Combat Patrol Tyranids is a lot of the stuff that was in the Leviathan or is in the starter sets. And while there's definitely some value in that box set, it's a lot of stuff that people already have. So it's nice to see them mixing it up here. Tyrant Guard are pretty good and pretty durable. And then you can alternatively build them as their other sculpt. You got a Biovore, which is a necessity in any army to sit on your home objective and launch some Spore Mines out. You've got some Gene Stealers to scout ahead and do some damage. That's going to be your main combat threat. And then you got the Parasite of Mortrex flying around, doing actions, injecting stuff, and creating Ripper Swarms. So really nice box set right here. Definitely a nice little core force once again. I really like how these combat patrols have a lot of the stuff that you would already be picking up if you're going to be playing these different forces. They're versatile enough to be played on their own. And then when you expand on them, you can take them in the direction you want to go. And a lot of these are actually viable to pick up like 2 of. Some of the characters might be a little bit redundant, but the majority of the stuff inside these boxes, it's not a bad idea to have 1 or 2 of. So very cool box sets. Definitely nice to see a little diversity hitting the combat patrol scene. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker. Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products, including miniatures, terrain, paint, tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. Of course, if you want something a little more silver or you really hate demons, there's also a Grey Knights Combat Patrol on the way that we showed off just a few weeks ago. All these combat patrols will be out later this year, so join us every Sunday to find out when. Alright, so here you have the Grey Knights Combat Patrol. So you're going to get 5 of the Grey Knight Terminators or Paladins, 1 of the Venerable Dreadnoughts, And then you're going to get 2 5-mans or a 10-man of like your typical Grey Knight troops, which have 3 different builds you can put them in. And then you're also going to get Castellan Crow, the newest of the Grey Knight characters, and by far the best sculpt in the range. So very cool. Definitely glad to see Games Workshop dropping some more big boxes. So typically with the combat patrols, you're going to see anywhere from a 25% to like 35 or even 40% savings over picking up the individual kits at MSRP. So they are typically some of the best boxes you can get. And while they're not always the best deal that Games Workshop offers, they are the best deal that Games Workshop offers consistently, as they're always part of the full range and you can pick them up anytime they're in stock. Unlike the battle forces or launch boxes, which are like a one-time offering, the combat patrols are always available. And with free rules available from Warhammer Community, with free rules for combat patrol, and with very minimal options when it comes to actually building and playing them, they take away a lot of the issues that newer players have with getting started in 40k or building a new army, as you basically just pick up the box, build it, and then put it on the tabletop. You got a couple of limited options in combat patrol game mode with your enhancements, your secondary objectives, and then your stratagems during gameplay, but you don't have to worry about exactly what equipment to put on your guys or what guys to even take. Basically just buy the box, put it together, paint it, and play. So very cool, very approachable, and with the new edition of 40k about a year out, I do think they're going to make some changes to Combat Patrol to make it even better, similar to what they did with Spearhead, which honestly I think Spearhead is peak Warhammer. It's absolutely awesome, it's very replayable, super fun right out of the box, and I think Combat Patrol is only going to get better with the new edition. So let me know what you think of the new Combat Patrols, what you think of it relative to the old Combat Patrols. Do they go well together? Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I am super excited for these new Combat Patrols. And I'm out of here.